ED raids are on in about 10 premises, and these raids are in connection with the National Herald case. Now, in the National Herald case itself, the National Herald premises are being raided. At least that clear information has come in at the moment, and this after both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have been quizzed by the Enforcement Directorate in the National Herald case. Rahul Gandhi was quizzed in June, and then Sonia Gandhi was quizzed in July. Searches are on at the National Herald House and other properties of Associated Journals Limited. Let me go across to Arvind, who's getting us all those details. Arvind, these 10 properties, are they largely in Delhi or spread across some other parts of the country as well?
Maha, it's mostly the offices or the premises that are being raided are very much in the National Capital NCR region is what National Capital region is what our sources are confirming, and one or two places in Kolkata, etc., are also being told, because you remember that Kolkata, there is this company, Dotex, which is based in Kolkata, that actually gave this 1 crore loan to Young Indian Limited, which was in turn used by Young Indian Limited to take over this 92 crore debt of Associated Journal Limited by paying 50 lakhs. So that particular company, the Kolkata-based Dotex, is also being searched by the Enforcement Directorate. So that's what we are getting to confirm. We are getting to hear from our sources. So almost all this 10 to 12 locations in the National Capital region, and also the Dotex company's premises in Kolkata are being searched. So like we mentioned, no residential premises of any of the people involved in this particular case or under the investigation are being searched by the Enforcement Directorate. Almost all the premises that are being searched are very much office premises, almost everything linked to Associated Journal Limited, Young Indian Limited, and also in Kolkata that relates to this, that linked to the Dotex company that gave this 1 crore loan to Young Indian Limited.
And also, as we were mentioning, this comes right after Congress President Sonia Gandhi was questioned, and after Rahul Gandhi was also questioned. Sonia Gandhi was questioned for close to 3 days, Rahul Gandhi for 5 days, and now these searches at the offices. So sort of the Enforcement Directorate giving out the signal that the case is not over after the questioning, and the searches are still continuing and now at the office.
Yeah, Priyanshi, this is completely an unusual way of Enforcement Directorate investigation, because going by their practice, once they initiate a money laundering probe by registering an ECIR, Enforcement Case Information Report, the very next thing they do is by conducting searches. They start the investigation by conducting searches, by collecting the documents or evidences during searches, and then they will call the people involved in the matter for questioning, and after questioning they will go for attachment order, and after which they will file a charge sheet. That has been the usual practice of the Enforcement Directorate, but this is the case very unusually, where the agency has initiated the investigation by registering an ECIR in June 2021. After that, they summoned people, they questioned them, and after questioning almost all the people involved in the case, now they are carrying out searches. So what we are being told is that this is also a kind of a message that the Enforcement Directorate is trying to send, that very soon they'll be issuing a provisional attachment order, because the Enforcement Directorate primarily they probe the alleged proceeds of crime in any of the criminal activities. So in this particular case, the main criminal activity, according to the Enforcement Directorate, is that by taking over the 92 crore debt of Associated Journal Limited, the Young Indian Limited has also taken over 800 crore worth properties of Associated Journal Limited. That's the alleged criminal activity, though the Congress party is saying that that's not even a criminal activity, because no FIR has been registered, and very in an unusual manner, the Enforcement Directorate has taken cognizance of a private complaint and has initiated a money laundering probe. So that particular entire jurisdiction of Enforcement Directorate to probe this particular case is still under the question, because the Congress party has been questioning, asking the Enforcement Directorate, asking for the FIR copy on which, where is the scheduled offence? Because for an Enforcement Directorate to initiate a money laundering probe, even if you go by the recent judgment by the Supreme Court upholding several stringent provisions of PMLA, they made it very clear there has to be a criminal activity, there has to be a scheduled offence for the Enforcement Directorate to kick in with the money laundering investigation. So the Congress party is questioning them, where is this scheduled offence? Which agency has registered an FIR on which Enforcement Directorate has initiated a money laundering probe? So coming to this particular your question, so the Enforcement Directorate has initiated a money laundering probe based on a private complaint, and now they are trying to locate the proceeds of crime. That means that if at all, if going by the Enforcement Directorate argument that they have taken over this 800 crore worth properties properties of Associated General Limited. According to the Enforcement Directorate, according to the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, those 800 crores are called proceeds of crime. Now the Enforcement Directorate will try to locate all this 800 crore worth properties of Associated General Limited, and then they will be going for attachment of that particular property. So very soon we can expect a provisional attachment order by the Enforcement Directorate. The moment they give a provisional attachment order, then the next step will come in, that is to file a charge sheet or the prosecution complaint against the accused in this particular case. So next move, after the questioning of accused in this case, now the agency is carrying out searches. They'll be locating the proceeds of crime or the properties in this particular case, and then they will be attaching the properties, after which they will be filing a charge sheet. So we can expect all this, the motion has been, the action has been set in motion. So very soon the Enforcement Directorate will be going for the next step. But the very important development that we are seeing on our screen is that the Enforcement Directorate carrying out searches at around 12 locations across the country. Majority of the locations are in the NCR and then some few locations in Kolkata. Very importantly, the Herald House, which is the headquarters of the National Herald newspaper, is also being searched by the Enforcement Directorate.